2022, the region has performed better outcome than the global economy. Recovery is still underway, and yet at different speed. The key issues for this year are inflation is high and remain in double digit, and mainly driven by food and energy prices. Two, the change in the global financial conditions are affecting emerging economies and middle-income countries who access international capital markets. Three, the level of uncertainty is extremely high, especially on food security issues. Growth for this year is going to be 5%, 5.2 for oil exporting countries, 4.8 for oil importing countries. Next year, as the rest of the world, we expect the outlook for next year to be less favorable than this year. Growth will go down for both oil exporting countries and oil importing countries. And we still expect inflation will be in double digit for oil importing countries and will start receding after 2025. Look, inflation surprised on the upside. This is the third year where we have double-digit inflation, especially for the oil importing countries. The situation is different for the oil exporters, where a level of inflation is still under control. We expect still that inflation will remain high next year, driven by high food and commodity prices. And we see a broadening of the inflation beyond headline inflation. And this is where our recommendations for countries in the region is to use the monetary policy tool in order to control the level of inflation and to keep it through monetary policy tightening under control. Well, first, I think what is important is to control inflation, because inflation is the most inefficient and regressive tax on people. Two is to shift social spending from an untargeted system that is now mainly driven by the subsidy on food and on energy to something that is more targeted, and use what we saw during the COVID crisis, whereby several programs were scaled up to provide additional assistance to those who need it. Three is create more jobs, especially for the middle-income people. And this is where accelerating the transformative recovery through reforms, improving access to finance, addressing issues of informality will help the recovery to be more rich in terms of growth.